On Facebook. Glad to see ya. Let me lift this up. Good morning. Good morning, people. So please don't pay any attention to the mess behind me. This is early morning, Monday morning, like reality. All right, so Nicole Cooper here. Good morning to you. Happy Monday to you. Today is Monday, September 19th, and I just got my kids off to school. So I am in my mommy gear, and I was actually sitting here working on some things in my journal. And last night I did a call. I did a call for the individuals who invested in the books that we sold at our auction. Okay, so we had an auction last week. It was extremely successful, and as a result of people purchasing what they purchased at the auction, I decided to do a free coaching session for them to ask me anything. So we did that last night. The goal was to give them an hour. We did two, of course, I always do. And it was really beautiful because I wanted to be available to really help them. I realized that this is a season where many of us are seeking and desiring mentorship. We're desiring community. We're desiring collaboration. We're desiring connections. We're desiring authentic guidance, right? Not manipulated guidance. And there's just a lot of things that I know I personally craved. And so I try to become what I desire, right? So, because these people made the investment in these resources, it says a lot about them that they were willing. If you're willing to invest in books and spend time on an auction and bid back and forth, you really are hungry. So, hey, Lisa. So I decided to do this coaching, and it was so beautiful. It was awesome. And they really had a chance to ask like some really serious questions. So I thought about a couple of them asked similar questions that all kind of led to the same answer. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about how to stand out in business because somebody had asked me, they said, Nicole, over all the years that I've watched you, hey, Danita, good morning to you. They said, of all the years that I've watched you, I want to know, what do you do when you hit a cap? Like when you're trying to progress in your business and you feel like you reached a certain level where you are. Where did you get those those bar chairs by your kitchen island? Sorry, I'm talking. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people love these bar stools. People ask me over and over again where I got them from. I'll tell you towards the end. Hey, Angela. So anyway, they were asking really good questions and it all led to a similar end result. And so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit and just kind of share with you a little bit of what I shared with them on last night about how to really stand out in business. Because I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was just thinking about the fact that there's so much noise now on the internet. When you go on Facebook now and you open it up, Facebook, because it's public and it's being publicly traded, there's a lot of push for profit. So you see they're really shifting this whole free community away, and they're trying to make it into a buyer's market, like where people literally are buying something every time they log on to Facebook. So you're seeing all these ads being promoted. It's just a big shift. It's becoming a marketplace. And so what's happening is it's a lot of noise with a lot of different people pushing and promoting all these different things. And it's to the point now where it's like, oh my God, everybody's saying the same thing. All of their Facebook ads look the exact same. How do you even know who to follow? When people talk, they sound like a bunch of clones, right? Because it's redundant information that is being replicated in multiple ways through multiple people, right? So how do you really stand out in business? And so I was sharing with them, I had shared with a friend, I said, it's like now it's getting easier to see who's in this industry for the money and who's in the industry because they authentically want to help and genuinely want to help people. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's almost hard to find people who really want to help people. Like for real, for real. Like everybody's an expert, everybody's a pro, everybody's a coach, everybody's a this, everybody's a that. Hey Martha, hey Felicia. Everybody is like, they just gave themselves some titles and they putting price tags on stuff. They've taken really fancy pictures. They build these beautiful brands, these gorgeous websites, and they putting like price tags on stuff. $10,000, $15,000. Everybody just like pick a price, just grab a price, put it on there, and just charge people. Right? Hey, Crystal. And it's kind of getting disturbing because It's just I don't know. It's just noise. And so I told somebody it reminds me of there's a scripture that says you sound like a clinging brass and a something cymbal. Like it's just noise. Like when people are talking now, I don't even really hear what they're saying. I feel noise coming out of their mouth. It's like, I don't know. It's just noise. And so I was talking to them last night about 3 ways to get out of that arena of noise where you don't just become somebody who's just talking and trying to get to people's money. We are all in business to make money. We're all in business to create sales. We are in this industry. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Danita. $85,000 for 6 months. I saw it on yesterday for a payment. Wow. Hey, Keisha. What's up, girl? Yeah, so if you really, I wanted to just kind of give you guys 3 tips to stand out of the noise in this season because it's a lot of noise. But here's what I shared with them yesterday. If you learn how to stand out from the noise through these 3 things that I'm going to share with you, what's going to happen is it'll become so easy for people to identify that you are the one to work with because you're going to stand out from the crowd. You're going to be somebody. I am going to have it for sale, Keisha. The recording from last night. It was really good. Like I gave them like a $10,000 training last night. Like I poured out my heart. I told her I'm going to give you anything you want because you made this investment. And we went into like some real, we went into my 5-figure, the stuff I paid 5 figures for in coaching. So it was really high quality content last night. But anyway, here's how you can stand out. Let's talk about these 3 things, okay? The first thing is you got to seek to impact your audience and not just create an income, okay? You have to seek to impact your audience and not just create an income. Most of us are picking and selecting paths. Hey, Natasha. I hope I said it right. Is it Natasha? I think it's just Natasha, right? Natasha. Most people, we get into these different industries, and when we get online, we hear all the money we can make. And so we choose the money first, and then we try to figure out how is this business going to support the money I want to make. Okay. Thank you, Keisha. That's my girl, Keisha Bass. Seek to impact your audience and not just create an income. Yeah. So most of us are like, we want to make money. So we like, I need to make $10,000 a month. So that's the number one goal. And then we figure out what can I do to get to the 10,000. When you were running a business, you want to have a profit plan. Okay, it's short for Tasha. Okay, cool. Hey, Nick Journey. When you start in business, you want to have a profit plan, and it's nothing wrong with understanding the money. I'm a big on knowing your numbers and having a profit plan in place. But you select the profession, that you select what you're going to focus on based on the impact that you're going to create. How are you going to really produce a result in people's lives that's going to be transformational? Because here's the deal, y'all. And this is a good $1,000 training that I'm giving y'all right now. You know, people don't need any more information. People are overwhelmed with information. They don't need another training. They don't need another this. They don't need another that. People need transformation. They need an encounter. They need something that will shake up it'll become a paradigm shift, and it'll shake up their world as they knew it and allow them to begin to see things in such a way that it elevates them and inspires them to take action. So yes, they need the how-to training, but the how-to training is not the result. The how-to training is the process to get to the result. The result is the transformational encounter that they're going to have by being connected to you. So when you lead with the income and not the impact, all you care about is buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. I'm selling a training, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. And what happens, guys, listen, one of the young men that was on there last night, it's funny, I did the auction last week and he hopped on the auction. I've just met him for the first time. Like, we've probably been connected, but he made himself seen on the auction, and he was very engaging, very supportive, and great dialogue while we're doing the auction. He was really fun. And so He was like, I just want the DVD because I was giving away a DVD with the book sales. And I said, well, I'll send you the DVD. And he was like, I want your coaching too. I said, well, just go on and send in some money and you can join us for the coaching. He sent in $50 and he joined us last night. Very sharp young man. He said, Nick, I paid you $50 just because I just wanted you to know who I was. And so I told him, I said, well, let's talk outside of this. I would like to know what you do and how I can support you because I feel like you're hungry. But he was sharing with me how he had paid somebody, you know, a big high ticket to coach them. And that person was just like, put this price tag on there and go out there and just go pitch it and go sell. And he was like, I don't feel confident that I am providing enough value that equates to the dollar amount that I'm being instructed to put on my products. And I said, well, I applaud you for that because it's more than just sticking a price tag on something and saying, buy my stuff. Don't get me wrong. All of us are valuable and all of us are worthy of making good money. But the question mark is are you yet prepared and in position to deliver something of such transformational value that equates to the dollar amount that you are asking people? He was like, I don't feel that way. And I said, I'm proud of you for not doing that because too many people, y'all, are like scraping every little penny they have. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Marquita, they're scraping every penny they have to try to work with somebody. And then they paid us all this money and that person disappeared on to the next sale. And you still feel like you were in the meat market. Like, what did I get out of this? Like, it's, you know, we just can't, we got to be very careful as entrepreneurs and as business professionals of how we operate. Integrity is everything. And so I want to encourage you to understand the importance of impact and not just income. Income is cool, but let me tell you, the way that I map my business models out, profit is the last thing we talk about. We talk about purpose and getting clarity. We talk about positioning in the marketplace and how you want to be, how you want to show up. We talk about which platforms, and we talk about what is the actual promise that you're giving people and what is the result that you're going to produce. Like, we talk about these things with my coaching clients. We talk about what products you're going to offer. Then we talk about what we're going to put a price tag on, what you're going to position. So yeah, like Tamika's saying, value first, profit comes last, y'all. Like, you want to get to the money, I get it, but you got to impact people in such a way that they feel like they got over on you with the little bit of money they paid you, right? You want to give people so much value that they're like, I can't believe you only charged me. You want them to say, I can't believe you only charged me $1,000 for this, right? Because you gave so much in value. I told my people last night, I know for a fact, all the people who were on that call last night, everything I do, they're going to be like, what Nick do? Because they were asking me, what are you selling? And I closed out last night. I said, look, I ain't selling nothing on this. I'm not pitching y'all nothing. I'm not selling nothing. I just wanted to give you pure value for these 2 hours. And stay tuned. I got stuff coming up. So stay tuned. And they're going to be the first ones to buy stuff because they understand that, I will always make money. I will always make money in anything I do. I can go sell hot dogs on a corner and make $1,000 a day if I want to because I'll figure out a way to do it in bulk and volume and produce what I need to produce. When you start learning how to make money and you begin to adopt the mindset that making money is easy, you don't let money be the dictatorship over your decisions. And it doesn't dictate your behaviors and how you connect with people. When money is the driving force, it's like telemarketers, right? It's like double dutch. Like, when do I jump in? When do I jump in? Can I jump in now? Do I tell them about my offer now? Do I get the money now? It's like you're so aggressively after that close that you forget the encounter. And if you don't build on the encounter, you're going to kill the close. Like, there is no close. You got to build rapport, relationship, connection, and then you give them your offer. You don't just like throw your stuff out there, buy my stuff. So good question, Natasha. I'll answer that for you as soon as I go through these 3 things. So the first thing is seek to impact people first, not just pursue the income first. All right. The second thing is authenticity. Be yourself. I had this picture on my wall that said, be yourself. And I can't scream this enough. It's so much duplication out here right now, y'all. Listen, I want you to pay attention to the next 10 to 15, maybe 20 Facebook ads that pop up on your timeline. And I want you to see how redundant they are. They all are saying pretty much the same thing. They're all it's just all I keep hearing is you're like a clinging sound and a tingling cymbal, whatever that scripture says. It's just noise. It's just noise. And I sometimes get caught up in that too. Sometimes because we're around this consistent conversation so much, we all begin to say similar things. And so in order to avoid that, because I do it too, like my sales copy might come across that way, and I had somebody tell me, how you present yourself, Nicole, is nothing like how you really are. Because I tell people all the time, like, my marketing is subpar. It's very poor. Like, I need a team. I need help with branding. I need help with copywriting. Like, I'm putting all that stuff in place now, but I suck at a lot of those things. I know what I'm strong at. My delivery is strong. My preparation to promote the delivery is poor. I know that. And so a lot of times, because I am, hey, Ryan, I'm so glad you were on. I was just talking about you. But I realize that that's an area of weakness for me, is I don't often position myself from a marketing standpoint as confidently as I do from a delivery standpoint. And so I had a friend tell me that. She was like, Nick, when people look at you, they see somebody that's really nice, right? But you have such a strength in you that if you only had your marketing match that strength. And so she gave me really good insight. It was Kenya Kelly. It was really good, profound, sound insight. I said, yeah, that's something that I know I need to really put in a budget to build out. But what I can say is, over the years, the one thing, and I think Natasha just asked me, how do you get people to join you in business? The one thing that has helped me all these years, I've been in business online since 2007. And I've been through a lot of different programs. I've sold a lot of products and a lot of different things. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Aisha. And so the one thing that has saved me and allowed me to, it's kind of like being on the wings of grace in this industry, is my authenticity. The ability to still be myself no matter what platform I'm on, no matter what training I do. Like, I'm the person that will call out the pink elephants. I will talk about the things that nobody will talk about. I'll be blunt and honest. Those are just things that's just naturally who I am. And that's what's allowed me to be on the wings of grace in this industry. It's not because I'm a great marketer. It's not because I'm good at branding. It's not because I'm a beast at copywriting. Like, I suck at most of those things. I'm not the best social media marketer. As a matter of fact, I am not good. I was better at these things years ago than I am now, because I've stopped trying to be good in areas that are not my natural talent. My natural talent is speaking, teaching, training. So now I align myself with people who are great copywriters. They're great marketers. They're great graphic designers. I know the skill, but that's not not necessarily the craft that I want to master anymore. That's just not where I want to be. So you have to be authentic. Number 2 is authenticity. Like, who are you? Let people know that. Let people see that. Let people experience that. I think so many of us are trying so hard to create a persona that we think people want, that we're burying ourselves alive, and we're miserable, because you really are brilliant. You really have creative ideas that nobody else is doing, but you don't trust yourself, because you're looking at everybody else and you're saying, well, such and such is and be very mindful of perception, because you think people are balling and they just may spend a lot of money on marketing, but they're not making or as successful as you think they are. That's a whole nother conversation. So you see the image of someone's success, and there's an assumption that they got it going on and they must be the expert. And so if they're not doing what I think I should be doing, then maybe my idea is not good enough because they're not doing it. And I always tell people, don't ever let your current situation dictate your decisions. Who you are and where you are and your current bank account status does not dictate your destiny. Who you are has nothing to do with your bank account in this season. Riches is what you have, but wealth is who you are. Who are you on the inside? Who are you in your thoughts? Who are you in your vision? When you begin to honor who you are, then you can get your bank account to match who you are, who you really are, not who you think you want to be. And so you have to begin to say to yourself, where I currently am does not dictate my destiny. My current bank account status does not. I don't care if your bank account's in the red and you got overdraft fees every week. That can be fixed because that was me 6-7 years ago, right? What you're encountering in this season of your life does not give you it's not the end all be all outcome of who you were born to be. It's just not. It's just that you have to realign some things, reposition some things, reshift some things in your mindset. And then you'll begin to understand that I am so much more powerful than I give myself credit for. When you begin to truly trust yourself, I think this season for me was a season of trusting who I am and trusting myself and believing that, Nicole, you have a powerful enough vision to sustain in an industry that has never seen something before. Like you can go and make this thing work and be the one to be the something to bring to market. For example, this auction we did last week for books. I never seen nobody do that. I was sitting in church last Sunday and I was like, I don't want to give my books away. I'm not going to drop them off at Goodwill. I spent too much. That library means too much to me. I want to put it in the hands of people who really will value my stuff. And the Lord was like, do an auction. Now I was like, that's brilliant because Facebook Live is engaging. Periscope is engaging. Hey, let's do an auction. We did an auction, y'all. And we did almost $1,500 in sales in books. That's not to include the other $3,000, $4,000 we made off of different Facebook posts we done made, right? Over $5,000 in a week off of posts on Facebook, okay? So you got to trust your creative ideas. You got to understand that there's so much inside of you that people are waiting for you to bring out. And you got to trust yourself. You got to trust yourself. So authenticity is number 2. Number 3, master your craft. Master your craft. You have you have to be very, very aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. Aisha talked about just now. She said you need to know the difference between your strengths and your weaknesses. Know your strengths and know your weaknesses and own your strengths and dismiss your weaknesses. Okay? What are you wanting to be good at? Last night on the call, we had a young lady by the name of Tony Roberts. Okay? I call her Tony Robbins. She's so funny, but she's so powerful. But Tony is, she is an online marketing beast. She's really starting to beef up her skills in the area of sales funnel and customer acquisition. I'm like, Tony, do you understand how powerful that is? Do you know how many people are looking for somebody right now to do their sales funnels? So what I explained to Tony, I said, this is what you need to do. You need to know about all things sales funnel and all things CRM. You need to get digital marketer certified. You need to go and check out ClickFunnels and get certified. You need to learn and understand the power of email segmentation. You need to get to a point where you understand Infusionsoft, but to get started, start with ConvertKit first. Like I broke down to her, like if you gonna own sales funnels and automation, you need to be a beast at it. That when you open up your mouth, that it's just like life coming out of you and people like, where do I sign? Let me pay you $15,000. Let me give you $20,000. Because like all the stuff that I can't even begin to try to spend time to figure out. One of the biggest things that we don't do enough of is invest in mastering our craft. We don't invest in ourselves enough. We don't understand that you have to pay for your growth. You have to invest in your education. You got to buy training. You have to buy coaching. You have to invest in certifications. You have to invest in resources that are going to make you be the best in the game in your industry. You cannot just lay around and say, well, I took this one class and I'm going to let that float me for the next 4 years and hope that I become a millionaire. That's not what the greats do. Every single day they're investing in tools and resources. I can't tell you, when I look at my business budget, I mapped out my business budget the other day, and there's a scripture that says but pretty much wherever you invest, your heart reveals, like where you invest your money reveals where your heart is, right? And a lot of my money go back into business. You know, I probably spend four to $5,000 a month on just growing in my business, investing in staff, paying for tools and resources, investing in, all these different things. Like I spend a lot of money in myself, in my business, in coaching, in my team, hiring people. You know, I put a lot of my money back into my growth. And a lot of times people might say, well, you make good money. I don't make that kind of money. I can't do that. Listen, when I first got started, I didn't have money. But what I did have was time. So I put a lot of time into learning stuff. And the little bit of money I did get, I borrowed money. Like I would call my dad, can you loan me this money to buy this training course? Can you loan me this money to get on this webinar? I went to my dad. My dad was my sponsor when I first got started. I didn't have no money. I was broke. I was on welfare. I was homeless. And I had just went through bankruptcy, foreclosure, and repossession. It was a lot going on in my life. I didn't have financial resources, but I had drive. I had hunger, and I had a commitment to learn. And I tell people that's when I stopped sleeping and I started taking naps. I literally would not sleep. I would take a nap an hour or two. I'm back up and I'm on my computer. I got my head in a book. I was in the library like it was my mother's house, getting all the free resources I can find. Because listen, the library has every current book. As a matter of fact, I went to the library the other day. I still go to the library to get books. And on the new release shelf was a Russell Brunson funnel hacking book. That book just came out. Russell Brunson's selling that book right now. It was a funnel hacking book on the library shelf of new releases. I snatched that bad boy, brought it here, and I renewed it 2 to 3 times, but it made me say, I'm gonna invest in this book. You don't have to always have the money. Most people use it as an excuse. Well, I don't have no money. I'm struggling right now. My life is hard, blah, 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 blah. Listen, there's too many free resources. We have 300 million people, I think, in America. Only 2% of the population in America has a library card. Only 2% of the population in America has a library card. A library card is free. If you go to the library, you take a current bill with your name on it, with an address that is within the zoning area, within the local zoning area where you live, that county that you live in, and you will get a library card. You can check out not just books, you can check out DVDs. You can check out CDs. They do free training courses on computers, on technology. I take my daughter there and they were doing math trainings for free over the summer. There's no excuse. They do computer programming trainings for free at the library. But only 2% of the population has a library card. You see, it boils down to hunger, drive. You got to say, I don't care what I don't have. What I do have is hunger, drive, and a thirst for change in my life. And no matter what it takes, if I got to go serve somebody, we talked about the fact that if you can't pay your way to be able to get what you need to progress, you serve your way to get what you need to progress. Go serve somebody. When I was broke, and I didn't have no money and I lost everything, I started calling everybody I knew. And I told them, I said, listen, I'm good at this skill. I'm good at that. I'm good at this. I'm good at that. How can I serve you? And I started going to people. I started managing their social media accounts. I started building their blogs. I started writing their blog articles. I started handling as their virtual assistant. I even wrote a book for a man in 2 months. A 12 or 15 chapter book in 2 months. And he ended up putting me on his payroll, paying me like, I think it was $250 a week or $350. And I was so grateful because I was broke. I ain't had no money, but I had a brain. I had resources. I had a knowledge base. I had an understanding of what I did know. And so I went to people. How can I serve you? What is it that I can do to sow into your life so that in return, you can mentor me in mine? Some of y'all chasing money and you need to be chasing an opportunity to serve somebody so you can grow in a certain area that will put you in position to really blossom in your industry, in your niche. You might not be ready yet, guys, to be out here putting $5,000 price tags on your offering. You might need to go serve somebody as an intern and say, you know what, I can give you 5 hours a week. I'm good at social media. And do it, listen, because some of us, I'm not going to say y'all, some of us do stuff because all we want to get something out of it. So we do it begrudgingly. We start getting a little attitude. I'm giving them 5 hours of my time and they got me doing this and that and I could be getting paid. I'm watching them make all this money and I can go out here. I can do this on my own. I don't need this. No, that's not how you serve, buddy. That's not how you serve. You serve with a cheerful heart to say, you know what? I see the value in just being around you. I just want to soak up what I can learn. As a matter of fact, that happened for me this year. I felt like I needed a shift in my life, and I was drowning because I come from the network. And I'm just gonna be raw with y'all. I come from the network marketing space. Y'all know that, right? And so where I want to go, most people in that space they don't quite see it yet, right? Or they don't desire it. Like they're kind of stuck in this space of network marketing and it's the end all be all for them. And I'm like, no, this is just a little stepping stone. It's not my life, it's not my long-term plan. And I had this vision to like progress and propel into this whole new level in business. And I know I knew enough, that I've read enough books and I've been to enough trainings and I've hired enough coaches, but I needed to be in an atmosphere of growth. And so it was the first event of the year. It was a real estate event that I saw that was taking place here in Austin, and I saw somebody that I admired, Allison Bird, was going to be the speaker. And I was like, oh, I'm not a real estate agent, but I'm being in that room with Allison Bird. And so I get in that room and she just gave me life. Like I was in there, like everything she was saying was dripping into me for this new season. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. So when it was over, me and Allison have known each other since 2009. And I pushed her aside. I was like, I need your help. I was like, please help me. And so me and her kind of tussled back and forth. She was like, I tried to help you last time, but you disappeared. I was like, I know, but I'm back. Help me. So she ended up saying, okay, let's talk. And so she invited me up to her house. She lives in San Antonio, which is like an hour and a half away from where I live here in Austin. And so I went to her house and sat down with her, and it just opened up a door for mentorship and sisterhood and bonding and connection. And I mean, she turned out to be the greatest gift for me in this season because she spoke life into me. She coached me. She showed me things about myself that I had forgotten about. She told me, she said, Nick, I think you forgot who you are. She said, I think you forgot who you are. I think you forgot what you know. And so she said, if you can help me figure this out, I feel like that'll help you begin to get clear. And I just served her. She'd call me and say, what do you think I should do about this? And I would break it down. Boom, boom, do this, and that. I would go to her house, help her put blueprints in place, strategy, this, that, and the other. It was like whatever she needed from me, I gave it to her. Because what she was giving me, and she told me she would never hire me as a client because our relationship is priceless now. Like our relationship is priceless. That's my sister. I love her. We fuss, we fight. But she is truly my girl. Like that is somebody that if I know I'm having a rough time, I can call her and be like, Allie B, I need you. And she's going to be there. And it's a gift because sometimes we get to certain levels and we think, thank you, Martha. Sometimes we think we get to a level where we should know it all and we should figure it out on our own because we've been around long enough and we shouldn't, we start getting to a point where we think that we get ashamed to say I need help. But the truth is, the higher you grow, the more advisors you need. Like I heard Ray Higgins say this the other day. He said he was in Fortune 5000. They do this thing, whatever, for these small businesses that hit top businesses of the year, whatever. And he said, our success didn't come because we're like the greatest at what we do. Our success came because we were willing to hire coaches that would show us how to pretty much quantum leap into success. And me and Ray would sit down. We hooked up a couple of times and he sat down with me. He was like, Nicole, I got like a coach for everything. And some of these coaches he paid like almost $100,000 to mentor him a year. And they have allowed him to go from, a guy who lost it all to $4 or $5 million a year. And he's the best in his game on big stages and platforms, one of the best in the network marketing industry, because he invested in advisors that can help him see what he didn't see. We all have blind spots. And we got to know that you are never too good. And I think that's the downfall to men's empires. When you get so high that you think I should know better, that I shouldn't need any help, and that becomes your collapse. The message at church yesterday was your breakthrough is connected to your ability to cry out. That was yesterday's message at church. Your breakthrough is connected in your ability to cry out, meaning the answers that you need come when you cry out for help. That's when they come. It's not when you like, I got this, I'm going to figure it out, I don't need nobody, like I'm straight. No, we need advisors, y'all. I need them all the time. Like, I think I seek advisors more now than I ever have. But I seek certain ones. I seek wise counsel. I seek godly counsel. And I seek, most importantly, I seek God's counsel, like divine counsel. So anyway, these are the three things that you need to do to stand out in business. It's turned out to be a lot longer than I planned. But the first is seek to impact before you seek to earn the income, people. Impact people before you earn the income. The second is be authentically you. If you don't know who you are, take the time out to really hear your voice and get a journal. I have my journal here. It's like washed out, right? But get a journal, right? When you are journaling, what happens is you start ministering to yourself. You start preaching to yourself. You start writing stuff down and you be like, oh my God, did I write that? Did that come from me? Oh man, that was so good. But if it's just a thought in your head, thoughts are fleeting. They come and they go. They're like but a vapor. They come and they disappear and you forget about that thought. But there's nothing more beautiful. Thank you, Ryan. Than coming and looking at your own writings and you're answering your own questions. And God does it for you, right? You have, well, for those of you who are believers, right? And if you're not, don't be offended. It's the power of receiving the Holy Spirit, right? You have that divine connection and intervention that is speaking through you as you are writing down your business is your ministry. It sure is. Business is my ministry, y'all. I say it all the time. You guys will hear me talk a lot more about that. The third piece is master your craft. Master your craft. Know your stuff. Get your ish together. You got to really understand what you're doing, what you're talking about. You have to be so committed to your personal development process of your industry that people come to you like Keisha Bass. Beats, follow Keisha Bass, right? I love Keisha. I've watched Keisha grow from 2009, 2010 to who she is today. And I'm so proud of her because the thing about Keisha is she's consistent and this girl will invest in herself, honey. She will buy stuff. She will cheer other people along. She will show up at events. She will travel across country. She's a team player. And everything that she has is because of her willingness to master her craft. And that's why now she's one of the top female internet marketers in the game, period, in the world. You have to know where you want to be, what you want to do, how you want to progress, and what it takes to make it happen. And never get so beyond yourself in pride, thinking that you're beyond learning more or beyond connecting with people or beyond being in that process of development, guys. It never happens. Remember, your breakthrough is connected in your ability to cry out to God first. And say other people, hey, help me. So anyway, I love you too, Keisha Bass. So guys, thank you so much for joining us on this morning. This really, Rise, Grind, and Shine has been on hiatus because there's been so much going on behind the scenes. But I am going to be popping on through inspiration to share different things like this. So make sure that you guys tag people, share this post. Get it out there because people need to know, how do you stand out from the crowd? How do you not sound like everybody else? Because it's getting so noisy. Everybody's saying the same thing. All the graphics are starting to look the same. All the copy sounds the same. Even their doggone pictures are starting to look the same. It seems like all they do is cut out like this part. And then they just put their face there. And then it's just like everybody's just doing everything. And it reminds me of Sesame Street. Those who remember Sesame Street way back in the day when they would have those 4 boxes and they would say, one of these kids are doing their own thing. Na 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 da 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 da. One of these kids are doing their own thing. Da 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 da. And I remember I would always pay attention to the kid doing their own thing while the other 3, were doing the exact same thing. You want to be that kid that's doing your own thing. Like, don't be ashamed to be you, y'all. As quirky, as weird, as unconventional as it may be that. I've come to the understanding that I'm not the chick you come to for the fancy stuff. You're not gonna catch me in a bunch of, I don't push red bottoms. I'm not the chick that's gonna be standing in front of a Maserati or a Lamborghini, posing like, look at my new ride, or a Rolls Royce. That's not my language. I don't even like talking about, like, that's just not the energy I like. It's just not. I'm the chick that might be in some yoga pants. You might catch me eventually in the upcoming years where I'm in front of the Eiffel Tower, or I'm hanging on a beach in the Philippines, or I'm standing in front of the little orchestra thing in Australia. Like, that's the stuff that excites me. That's the stuff that makes me want to have these conversations. It's not about the labels that I wear. It's not. I'm not the flash chick. That's just, I'm not. So I don't attract flash chicks. That's not me. So you got to know who you are, and what you truly feel in your heart you want to bring to the world, y'all, and honor that thing. God has such a divine plan if only we would listen. Yesterday I posted, I said, Martha said you would catch me in the country with my country husband and children traveling the world. You got that right. Y'all know I want an RV. So on an RV, you can't have but 5 outfits. So if you see me in the same t-shirt and shorts every time I shoot a video, then it is what it is. That don't bother me. So, yeah, yoga pants making 7 figures. I know that's right. Yeah, because my money is not about stuff. I'm not a stuff person. I'm an experienced person. I'm an impact person. So anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but I appreciate y'all. Y'all got on workout clothes now. Look, I got on my CEO Trump shirt. In my workout clothes, right? I'm always in workout gear. Got my Nikes on. And I'm ready for the day. That's how we roll around here. I'm in my workout clothes like every day. So, anywho, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. I got a full day ahead. I have a full, this is like my to-do list. Y'all see that? I got like a lot of stuff to do. And this was one of those impromptu sessions today where I was like, I'm going to share with y'all what I shared with those phenomenal people last night. And I'm going to close and say this. I'm going to close and say this just on a serious note. One of the greatest lessons that I've learned about this life that we live is that it's not about us. It's not about you. It's not about what you want, you getting your stuff, you acquiring more things, you driving your fancy car. Those are bonuses, and God wants us all to have a very wonderful and prosperous life. But at the end of the day, your life is designed to be an inspiration and a beacon of light to those who are trapped in the midst of darkness and they need restoration. They need hope. They need someone to show them what's possible. They don't need somebody to rub in their face, I got it going on and your life sucks. That's not what people need. And sometimes we get so ambitious about mine and getting me in mind that we are willing to trample over anyone to accomplish something, not realizing it's not about you getting your stuff that matters. Stuff is cool. It's the bonus. It's the icing on the cake. But the essence of your life is the ability to be a beacon of light to impact and inspire those around you. Everybody's watching. Everybody's seeing your motivation. They understand that you're different. They understand that you're driven. They understand that you have this ambition to do things and make things happen. And they want to follow your lead. But we have to learn to do things with grace. We have to learn to do things with humility. We have to learn to do things with a true intent to impact people and transform people's lives. And I promise you guys, I've been around for a long enough time to see the difference. There's so much more joy in your heart when you do stuff to impact and inspire others than when you do it to be nasty or to be boastful or to be proud or to try to rub stuff in people's faces. That's a miserable life to live. And I see a lot of people chasing that, not understanding that the world needs who you really are. We know you're a beautiful person. We know that you really want to help people. You may have had some things happen that make you don't trust people anymore, and that's probably why you might be a bitter soul. But guess what? There's hope for you too. There's grace for you too. So when you're an entrepreneur, and you guys are going to hear me talking a lot more about how to really honor your platforms that you're pursuing to be on. I've made a decision to not abuse the platforms I'm on, but to really use them as an opportunity to impact. And I really want to encourage you guys to know that your platforms are not for promotional sake for you. Your platforms are designed for your purpose to be able to create such an impact that all the people around you, they can just, their lives are elevated because of you. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm going to go. So I hope that helped y'all. All right. I don't know how long we've been on today. Probably 30 minutes. That usually is what happens, if not longer. So you guys have a great, beautiful, wonderful, and productive week. Take these 3 steps, share them with people, and bye, y'all. See you later. Okay. All right. Bye.